It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 1019 100.5, 1450 WGNSSports.com and Big G TV.
The Coach's Show is brought to you by Rick's Barbecue, serving up the best smoked barbecue ribs and many local favorites on Warrior Drive, locally operated by Anne-Marie Brents and the Lanning family, Danny Brewer. I'm here with you this morning, and I'm extremely pleased because I'm joined by Eagleville head basketball coach Chris Lynch, leader of the Lady Eagles. Coach, how are you this morning?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Well, quite well, Coach, quite well. So we're going to kind of jump right into this. First, let's talk a little bit about Chris Lynch before we jump into the team. How many years have you been the head basketball coach at Eagleville?
Pretty good question. I think it's about 24.
So you're like an institution there at Eagleville, huh?
Well, this is my 30th year, and I've been at Eagleville for 28 and a half of them. So it's been a pretty long time.
Yeah, so is it move over Donnie Holland? I mean, because, Donnie Holland and I, we know he was legendary at Eagleville. He and I were good friends, but it ain't quite move over Donnie Holland, but still.
Donnie Holland story?
Yeah, give me your Donnie Holland story.
Okay, I graduated from Eagleville, but grew up over near Blackman. I went to Rockville Elementary when it was a single building over there. So I had heard of Donnie Holland, but never met him. And I came in 91. He was already gone to Smyrna. And we were hosting a graduation, and I was one of the door guys. And Donnie Holland comes walking up, and I didn't know who he was. And he said, "Who's the girls' basketball coach?" And I thought that he knew it was me because he asked, and he's the first one I saw. I said, "Well, that's me." And he said, "I got a bone to pick with you." And I was like, "Oh, no." And, he's a pretty intimidating guy. He walks me over to the trophy case and said, "These are our state runner-up trophies right here." He said, "They're dusty, they're tarnished, there's some pieces broken and missing." And, it really caught me off guard. And I said, "Coach," and he told me who he was, and I said, "Coach, I'm sorry." I said, "You're right. That should have never happened." So I said, I'm going to make it right. And so that next school season, so that was at graduation. So the next December, I invited him and all the players that were on that runner-up team back to Eagleville during a halftime show. And we had the ball re-chromed. Taylor Color helped us out with that in Eagleville. Bought all new pieces on it, all new lettering, and presented it to him and the team that year. And at the time, we were like probably, I want to say, not great record. It was like maybe 5-12 or 5-15 at that time. And after that game, we went on to win 17 out of our next 19 and made it to the state tournament.
Wow.
I don't know if it was a little, good luck mojo or whatever, but yeah, he definitely called me out on it and needed to. So,
well, I'm going to say, you know this as well as I. When Donnie Holland spoke, you listened because he was an intimidating figure. Good man, though. Really good man, really good basketball coach.
Absolutely.
Yeah, utmost respect for Donnie Holland. So that let's roll that right in. Eagleville has had a very proud tradition in girls basketball. Because I know back in Donnie's day, they were battling with Smyrna. Him and Harry Gill would go at it. Because Smyrna was pretty daggum good then too. So him and Harry Gill would go at it. But Eagleville has had a very proud girls basketball tradition, and you have been a big part of that.
Just try to really carry on what was there to begin with. And, you feel like, I guess, a lot of pressure and a lot at stake because, you can get called out at any moment. So Donnie Holland called me out, I was so blown away. But
look at that glowing treasure.
yeah, it's
just begging to
it's
be
something
snapped.
that you have to keep
How
up
do you
with,
plan to
and
handle those
something that
fierce
you really need to
guardians?
take a little pride in. So it's a good place to be.
Absolutely right. So let's talk a little bit about what you got going on this year. What's your record right now, Coach?
We're 5-11.
5-11. Okay, so let's talk. District play started this week. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay, so your pre-district schedule. You believe in scheduling tough because that makes you better when it comes this time of year. True or false on that?
That is true. You know, I looked the other day. We had there's a rankings strength poll, and our strength of schedule was 5th out of the state, and I believe that because it has been very tough. You know, our 3 wins prior to starting district was Forest, who's 12-3, Huntland, who has, I think, 11 wins, and Riverdale, which, you know, when you jump up 3 classifications, it's, you know, it's tough in itself. So those were our 3 wins, which are pretty good wins. And, you know, our losses have been to some very good teams. So, you know, all in mind, hoping that this is getting us ready for when district tournament, you know, district play starts. So it's worth the reward. It's a little frustrating. I wish we'd have had some games in there where we didn't have to play our absolute best to win one of them in there. But, you know, you kind of schedule with the boys, and they're having a special season. So kind of make it work for both of you.
So tell me what happened this week. You guys, did you play 2 games this week?
We did. We played Culleoka at home on Tuesday, and we jumped out to a 12-2 lead, and kind of hung around that mark for a while, and they cut it back. Then we jumped back out to a lead. I'm still trying lineups this season, trying to see what works, who can come in and give some minutes, if there's certain groups that can come in. And, you know, we're still toying with that, and haven't had to do that in a long time. The past, you know, probably 3 years, I would play 5 or 6 girls, maybe 7. This year I'm playing probably 12 on a regular night, 14 most nights. And, you know, it's just I have a lot of girls that are really close together, and as far as playing ability and what they bring, so it's been a work in progress. But we ended up beating Culleoka, I want to say, by around 15. And then Friday night, which we moved to Thursday night, actually, we thought it was going to storm worse than it did, but it's kind of nice to have a Friday night off. But Hampshire came in, and they are probably one of the weaker teams in our district if you look at their overall work this year. And we're down 16-20 at halftime. And, you know, I go in the locker room, and I'm at a loss for words. And I told the girls, I said, I don't know if I've ever been at a loss for words. Like I just can't, I couldn't put it in words. So Coach Keller said some good things at halftime, and we go back out in the second half, and we outscore them 31-3 in the third quarter. So a very good third quarter, and you know, end up winning by about 30. So it was good to see that, you know, we could put it together. It just took us a while to get it going.
Well, I guess, you know, sometimes that can happen, and you're dealing with kids, and you have to figure out ways to kind of flip that light switch on. And obviously somebody said something to flip the switch. 31-3 in the third quarter. That's pretty impressive.
Well, my uncle Terry Wilson was at the game, and he he said, I don't know what you said at halftime, but you should have recorded it and played it before the next game. And I said, well, that's the problem. I didn't say anything. We didn't say anything. And we left just try to tell them not to, try to do it all in one play. I felt like we were rushing stuff and we were trying to over pursue and giving up some easy stuff. And, I said, I'm going to walk out. Me and Coach Keller walked out. Coach Delk was sick. And I know she's going to say that was her, the reason why in the first half probably. No, she wasn't feeling well. So me and Coach Keller, said, we're going to step out, and I'm just going to let y'all talk a few minutes, and y'all need to talk about a few things. So I think, the girls kind of had a little meeting there, meeting of the minds, and got it right. So this week we travel to Santa Fe on Tuesday and then go to Mount Pleasant on Friday.
So still, and those are district games as well, right?
Both district games, that's right.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about some of your scores. I know you had some girls. Alex Bolden, she hit double figures, I think, in both games. And Mallory Lawyer, she had a double-figure game. Bailey Sutter, she had a double-figure game. Talk a little bit about those girls.
Yeah, MC also had a good night both nights. And, Alex is a freshman, and she scored 19 on Tuesday. She's really been working on her shot selection, coming in as a freshman and leaving middle school ball. You can, get your shot a little easier, but in high school, one shot that's really easy is that three-pointer sometimes, and you seem to be open a lot. But we've worked on her penetrating the ball because she has very good court vision and can make some really good passes. So we tried to work more on maybe let's get closer to the basket and sprinkle in a few threes here and there instead of shooting a lot of threes and sprinkling in a couple of drives. So she's really worked hard on that. She's a stat filler. She'll have a bunch of deflections, steals, assists, rebounds, shot attempts, free throws. Like when she plays, there's going to be, she's going to do, you're going to notice her out there. And I've tried to live with some, she's a freshman and, I give her a little leeway here and there and have to, kind of reel her in just a little bit sometimes, but she's having a great second half of the season. And Bailey Suter, you mentioned her. She's our best shooter percentage-wise from three, and she works really hard. And she one night had a game where her stat line, they were zeros. She had 3 shot attempts and minutes, and that's all she had. And we'll try to talk about, don't worry so much about scoring. Just worry about doing all the other things, and the scoring will come. And since then, she's had much better games and doing, not just being a one-way player.
Well, Coach?
MC.
Yes, sir.
She has scored, I think she's probably right at our leading scorer, her and Mallory Lawyer. They're our 2 seniors. And I feel like they've done a good job leading and, rebounding, defense, scoring, leadership. Been really proud of them. So.
Well, very good, Coach. It's always good when your seniors step up, especially when district play starts. The Lady Eagles seem to be flying high right now. Coach, we certainly appreciate your time, and we wish you the best of luck.
Okay, thank you.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by the law offices of John Day, providing superior legal representation to injury victims and their families. Find out more at johndaylegal.com.